Hello, English 113 class. It's our weekly video for this week, and we're starting a new project, so it's an important day for a video. Thank you to those of you who have submitted your final draft of the open letter analysis. I'm really looking forward to reading those. I very much enjoyed reading your rough drafts. I thought overall the class is doing pretty well. I was, for the most part, pretty impressed with most of the rough drafts. And just grateful for that opportunity to give you some feedback and then see what you've done with that as I read your final draft. So I'll start giving you feedback on those this week. And I have 3 classes that come in at the same time with their paper. So I'll get them back to you as fast as I can. Hopefully by the end of the week, but it may be early next week or sometime next week. Just, you never know what's going to happen. Life is crazy. Life is busy. I'll get those to you as fast as I can. A lot of classes to grade at once, but you already have that feedback from the rough draft. So generally, you know kind of where you stand. And if you made those improvements, then you'll likely do very well. So get that as soon as you can. I'll get that as soon as I can to you. But the focus for right now is what we're starting now. So you finished that project. You wrapped up the open letter analysis. And now we're going to start our second major paper, which is the researched argument. And this will carry us through the rest of the quarter. So if you go into Canvas and you look at Module 7, we are in Module 7, and it says, starting your research with a question is the name of it. And then the first item is the module overview, but the next item is researched argument rough draft. So what I'm doing here is I'm giving you the instructions up front. This is the start of this module, and I'm saying, here's what we're doing. Look at it and know this is what we're building toward. So we're actually going to spend the rest of the quarter on this paper, technically speaking 5 weeks, although some of those weeks will go by really fast because we have the Thanksgiving break in there, and then we have the final week of the quarter where we're not really doing anything new. You're just peer reviewing. So anyway, We'll work on it in pieces is the idea. So it's 5 weeks, and we'll do one piece at a time. So start, right now, even as I'm talking and you're watching this video, open up that rough draft assignment and look at the instructions so you know where we're going. And where we're going is a pretty straightforward researched argument paper. Now, everyone in the class will have a little bit different experience, but depending on what your experience was before this class with English classes and writing papers, you've probably written some kind of paper like this before. For example, maybe in high school, or maybe if you've taken a composition class in college before. It's a pretty typical assignment. It's just a really great way to assess what you've learned this quarter. So what you want to do in this paper is start researching a topic, and we're going to work on it over time and eventually learn enough about the topic that you develop your own unique argument, and then in the paper support that argument through logical reasoning and analysis. One way to think of it would be, since we've completed the open letter assignment, we spent the first half of the quarter working on studying how other people use rhetoric and communicate. Now you're getting your turn to develop your own rhetorical strategies. So pick a topic you're interested in and work on developing an argument. Now, I say work on developing an argument. We're going to treat it like a process over 5 weeks, working on it a piece at a time. So you don't need to know what you're arguing right now. In fact, it's better not to know what you're arguing right now. But you do want to start thinking about a topic and what a good topic for you might be. And so you can start doing some research on that topic. But the idea isn't to have your argument now, just to have your topic, because you want to learn. Even if it's a topic you're already familiar with, you want to learn more about it. You want to approach it with an open mind, see what you learn. And then as you look at the research, think, where can I fill in the gap? What have other people not said that I can say about this topic? And then in 3 or 4 weeks, have your thesis write your paper. So that's how we're approaching it. If you look at module 7, and then you scroll down to module 8, module 9, module 10, you'll see that we're really working on a piece at a time. So module 7 is called Starting Your Research with a Question. So there'll be some information here on, like, you'll see these readings on how to argue better, on research questions, on how to structure papers. There's a research link. So come up with a question. If you have a topic, what is something you want to learn about it? And then use that question to guide your research. So this first week is on coming up with a research question and writing an introductory paragraph. Next week is on evaluating and finding sources. And that culminates in using the research to move from a question to a thesis. So you pose a question, you use that question to find research, you read research, and then eventually you turn your question into a statement. So module 8 will help you, module 7 this week will help you come up with a question, module 8 will help you go from the question to a thesis. Module 9 will help you figure out how to support that thesis, how to prove it through the course of your paper. So if you look ahead to module 9, that's all about structuring the argument paper, and your assignment that week is to create an outline. And so for those 3 weeks, 7, 8, and 9, the little assignments that are due each week are pieces of the paper. Like for this week, you can write an introductory paragraph and come up with a question to help you find research. Next week, you can write the thesis and add that to the end of the introductory paragraph. 2 weeks from now, you can outline your paper. 3 weeks from now, you can write your rough draft and submit that. And then the final week of the quarter, it's just this Sunday, December 8th, which is the Sunday after the last week of regular classes, your final draft is due. So that's what we're building towards. That's what we're working towards. And as I just outlined, there's those steps in the process. So I'm happy to help you at any point in that process. Like I've said all quarter, please email me or Canvas message me your questions. If you want to talk through things, we can meet on Zoom or in person if you happen to be on campus. I'm happy to talk to you about anything, even happy to brainstorm topics with you. But the readings that are available that you're supposed to do in Canvas will help you figure out how to come up with a topic, to research it, and to write the paper. So that's the plan going forward. I think what I would say for this week is the discussion or the assignment asks you to come up with several research questions. It's good to have more than one. So come up with several research questions, and then as you work on the paper, narrow and pick what you think is the best one. And then the other assignment asks you to write an introductory paragraph. Well, really just asks you to write the opening hook. So you'll get some practice with that. So just pick one of your research questions and do a hook for that topic for the second assignment. And again, we're building the paper a piece at a time. So obviously, you're not locked into the topic you start researching this week. You can change at any point. Obviously, you can rewrite that introductory paragraph, but it's good to get practice with these things and to work on the paper a piece at a time because it's a process. So please let me know if you have questions on any of this. I look forward to working with you as you go through this process, and again, to just reading your papers, reading the paper you just turned in and reading the next one. That's one of my favorite parts of teaching these online classes. So I hope you take care and have a great week.